Welcome back. Yesterday we saw that Elijah earnestly believed that God would perform and enable Elijah to perform that which he had decreed and called upon Elijah to do. We saw that Elijah told Ahab that it would not rain until he himself said that it would. We also saw that Elijah trusted God to provide for him through ravens and a Gentile widow. But we also saw 2 days ago that Elijah was just a normal man. He wasn't special. He just trusted and obeyed God. Today I want to look at then the next event in Elijah's life. An event that is very well known and is found in 1 Kings 18, beginning verse 1. And it came to pass after many days that the word of Yahweh came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, Go, present yourself to Ahab, and I will send rain on the earth. Elijah then goes and finds Obadiah, who was actually going out on behalf of King Ahab, looking for springs and brooks of water in order for them to be able to nurture their animals, to find some grass that they might be able to feed them. And so Elijah finds Obadiah and tells Obadiah that to tell King Ahab that he would present himself before Ahab that day. Obadiah says, are you really going to do that, or are you going to disappear again? And he says, no, I'll appear before Ahab today. So that's where we pick it up down in verse 17, when Ahab comes and meets Elijah. 1 Kings 18, verse 17. Then it happened when Ahab saw Elijah that Ahab said to him, Is that you, O troubler of Israel? And Elijah answered, I have not troubled Israel, but you and your father's house have, in that you have forsaken the commandments of Yahweh, and have followed the Baals. Now therefore send and gather all Israel to me on Mount Carmel, the 450 prophets of Baal, and the 400 prophets of Asherah, who eat at Jezebel's table. So Ahab sent for all the children of Israel, and gathered the prophets together on Mount Carmel. And Elijah came to all the people, and said, How long will you falter between two opinions? If Yahweh is God, follow him. But if Baal, follow him. But the people answered him not a word. Then Elijah said to the people, I alone am left a prophet of Yahweh, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Therefore let them give us 2 bulls, and let them choose 1 bull for themselves, cut it in pieces, and lay it on the wood, but put no fire under it. And I will prepare the other bull, and lay it on the wood, but put no fire under it. Then you call on the name of your gods, and I will call upon the name of Yahweh. And the God who answers by fire, he is God. So all the people answered and said, It is well spoken. Now Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, Choose 1 bull for yourselves, and prepare it first, for you are many, and call on the name of your God, but put no fire underneath it. So they took the bull which was given them, and they prepared it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, no one answered. Then they leaped about the altar which they had made. And so it was at noon that Elijah mocked them, and cried and said, Cry aloud, for he is a god. Either he is meditating, or he is busy, or he is on a journey, or perhaps he is sleeping and must be awoken. So they cried aloud, and they cut themselves, as it was their custom, with knives and lances, until the blood gushed out on them. And when midday was past, they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice. But there was no voice, no one answered, no one paid attention. Then Elijah said to all the people, Come near me. So all the people came near to him, and he repaired the altar of Yahweh that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, to whom the word of Yahweh had come, saying, Israel shall be your name. Then with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahweh, and he made a trench around the altar large enough to hold 2 seahs of wheat. And he put the wood in order, cut the bull in pieces, and laid it on the wood, and said, Fill 4 water pots with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. Then he said, Do it a second time. And they did it a second time. And he said, Do it a third time. And they did it a third time. So the water ran all around the altar, and he also filled the trench with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahweh, Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known this day that you are God in Israel, and I am your servant, and that I have done all these things at your word. Hear me, O Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that you are Yahweh, Elohim, and that you have turned their hearts back to you again. Then the fire from Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust and licked up the water that was in the trench. Now when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces and they said, Yahweh, he is God! Yahweh, he is God! And Elijah said to them, Seize the prophets of Baal. Do not let one of them escape. So they seized them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon and executed them there. Elijah was just a normal guy. He wasn't special. He trusted and obeyed God. By faith, he believed that God would accomplish what God had decreed. He knew that there were no other gods but Yahweh, period. There was no concern for him that the prophets of Baal would win. Yet he had to truly believe, because in the end, if he failed, this was a life and death decision. This illustrates as well what Jesus declared in Matthew chapter 16. Then Jesus said to his disciples, If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. You must be willing to put your very self on the line, dying to self in order to see the magnificent power of God displayed in and through your life. If God didn't come through, Elijah was toast. Elijah would have been killed. He had been destroyed by all those people there. No, remember, none of them, when he asked them about serving which God, nobody would make a declaration until God revealed his power through Elijah. And then everyone declared, Yahweh, he is God. Yahweh, he is God. May it be that God uses us in such a way that those about us see the reality and power of God in our life. But it has to come through the earnestness of our faith in that one true God. Praying, believing that God will do what he has called for us to accomplish. Pray, believe earnestly, and then have a blessed day.